Okay, so welcome to the pod. We're so glad that you're here joining us. Like I said, we kind of consider this a movie club, and we like to refer to our guests as members of the clubhouse. But we do have 3 clubhouse questions that we like to ask every one of our guests the first time that they're on. It kind of helps us to get to know you a little bit better. People who may have not listened to your pod, this is just kind of a brief, I guess, synopsis or intro into who you are as a movie watcher. So I will kick off with my question, which is something I love to ask people who I know love movies. If you were on a deserted island, you can watch a movie, you got TV, Blu-ray, you got the full setup, and you can take the filmography of one person, either an actor or a director. Who would it be? If they're still working now, you'll get the stuff they continue to do.
They'll fly it out there.
They'll fly it out. And they're not going to send you food or help, but it's just like, hey, here's what this person did a couple of years ago. So now you have it. Want to keep you up to date on the culture, anyways, that's what I love to hear from people. So who would your desert island actor or director be?
Oh, it'd be Alfred Hitchcock. No question. I mean, that man made 52 films over 50 years between 1925 and 1976. And not to say I love every single one of them, but I would say at least 30 to 35 of his films I think are pretty solid, or if not amazing. And so he would keep me busy for a while. I wouldn't want to pick a director who made like 5 films, and I'd get kind of sick of his work after. So Hitchcock is my favorite director, and I would say 7 or 8 of his films are in like my top 30 of all time. I just love his work.
Yeah, we did a full Hitchcock round. One of our rounds was dedicated just to watching Hitchcock films. We watched 3 of them. Oh, cool. And I remember when it was over, I was just like, oh man, I kind of wish this round was like 8 more movies long. Because we watched, what did we watch?
North by Northwest.
North by Northwest.
Strangers on a Train.
Yeah.
Vertigo.
And Vertigo.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And I just remember wanting to watch, I was like, oh man, I want to watch Rear Window and Rope and all these other ones. And
I think we had discussions in the chat, should we become a Hitchcock podcast? We just switch this over because I just kind of want to watch.
We were this close.
So close.
And I'm very excited. His second to last feature, Frenzy, which is rated R, came out in 1972. So I get to talk about that next year. I'm very excited about that.
That's awesome. That's so good. Yeah, his stuff was great. I think it's a great choice. He's a great example of what I think the ideal here, where it is like quantity and quality. Like you said, you get plenty of his stuff, but it's also it's good stuff. It's not someone who's just churning out movies for no reason. I watched Rebecca for the first time this year. I'm I just wanted to watch it instantly right afterwards. Man, this is crazy what this guy was doing when this came out, just how much better he got. So
and he remade one of his own movies.
Yeah. The Man Who Knew Too Much. And he's got a variety of just the best actors of the time with James Stewart and Ingrid Bergman and Grace Kelly and just all these people at their prime in his best work. It's just so fantastic.
Yeah, made me think Cary Grant might be the most handsome person to ever be on film. He's
and notorious,
he's easy to look at. That's for sure. No, I think it's a great answer. I love it. I love Hitchcock. I think it's also the first time that we've heard that, which is another thing I
really
love.
Wow.
Okay. We always I think we've only had one repeat answer ever. We are also the same as you, September 2020. So we got we began at the same time. But I think it's our first Hitchcock.
I think a lot of podcasts started last year.
I don't know what was going on. I wonder why.
What was there to do?
It's so weird.
Yeah, I would say the only thing I'd worry about with your pick is you're not going to get more Hitchcock unless they find something in a vault somewhere. So
his
you run the
second
risk
film,
of getting.
His second film, The Mountain Eagle from 1926, is a lost film. Maybe they could find it.
Oh, there you go. Oh, so you'd have some hope, something to keep you going.
Come on.
Yeah.
I love it. So you mentioned earlier you saw Multiplicity in the theater and were bummed, and Cable Guy in the theater and was bummed.
A long time ago.
And so along those lines, I just want to hear about a favorite movie experience, and maybe a movie that disappointed you ended up being funny or fun for whatever reason. But what was an experience, whether it's in the theater, at a friend's house, or whatever, that just really stands out to you?
There have been a bunch. The movie experience that I remember just loving at the time, and it was so spectacular, was seeing my first R-rated movie in a theater. Nice. I was 9 years old. My dad took me to True Lies in the summer of 94.
Nice.
And when Jamie Lee starts dancing, my dad was doing this like, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into?
He didn't shield your eyes. He just,
he just shielded his eyes. Like, I can't look at this.
I don't think he shielded my eyes, but that was a pretty spectacular first R-rated movie on the big screen. And we saw it on giant screen with a big crowd. And I had seen a couple of Arnold's movies, like I think Terminator 2 I had seen. I think my dad loved Commando, so he made me watch that.
Yeah.
My dad showed me crazy R-rated movies when I was like 8, 9, 10. He showed me The Evil Dead. He showed me lots of horror films.
Awesome.
And he loved Arnold. So yeah, he took me to True Lies, and I think we saw like a late show too. It was like started at like 10 p.m. And I'm like 9 years old. I don't even know if I've seen a trailer. Yeah. And it was just like, I was like, I love this movie. I mean, that movie, some of it doesn't hold up very well today, but like the action sequences, it's like James Cameron at his absolute best. Some of those scenes in True Lies are fantastic.
The visuals of that bridge over the water,
like the bridge, when she's trying to get out of the limo, even though I asked myself, why can't she just roll off the back every time I watch it? but when he grabs her at the last second, and that shot, which was done for real, that's really Jamie Lee Curtis hanging off of that helicopter for that shot, which today would be CG. It's so ridiculous that was done for real. But it's with the music and oh my God, it's just fantastic. I love it.
That's awesome.
I have an almost 9-year-old and I'm trying to imagine watching True Lies with them. But you know what? I'm a Jamie Lee Curtis fan, and that is great. Fan.
Yeah, I love her. Halloween's my favorite horror film, and I've been following her career since I was young. I love her work and everything she does.
That's great.
She's great.
Yeah.
So we've done a couple rounds where we've selected a movie that we personally love. Mm-hmm. That we feel either is underappreciated by the masses or nobody we know has really seen it. And we've categorized those movies as unsung gems. Mm-hmm. And so I would like to know what you would consider your flagship unsung gem that you feel just gets, underappreciated.
I mean, I'm not sure if it's necessarily an unsung gem because it just dropped on Criterion earlier this year. And everybody I talked to who've seen it, they absolutely love it. But I would say the one movie in my top 10 of all time that I still feel like a lot of people have not seen or appreciate, and that's Albert Brooks's Defending Your Life from 1991, starring Meryl Streep and Rip Torn and Lee Grant. It's a movie I discovered in high school, and it's just a fascinating story and really funny. This idea of like, oh, we're going to go to the afterlife, and you watch your whole life play out in front of your eyes on a screen. And it's like you're on trial for your life. And if you pass, you get to go to the next level. If you don't pass, you have to go back to Earth and try again. And it's got so many cool ideas. And I've always loved the work of Albert. Have any of you seen Defending Your Life?
I'm just looking it up right now. It's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I almost think he's more known for some of his acting, like in Drive, where he's the villain, which I love him in Drive with Ryan Gosling, and Broadcast News with Holly Hunter and William Hurt by James L. Brooks. He got his one and only Oscar nomination for supporting actor for Broadcast News, which he's so funny in too. Mm-hmm. But I feel like more people know his 1985 comedy Lost in America with Julie Haggerty more so than Defend Your Life, even though it has Meryl Streep in the female lead, one of the most famous actresses of all time. It's not like her most magnificent performance ever put on film. She's just kind of playing the girl. So it's kind of like, it's interesting that my favorite Meryl Streep movie is the one where she's just like herself. But it's just a delightful film. It's got a wonderful, heartwarming ending, and I've seen it at least 20 times. I just think it's great. And I always tell people to watch Defending Your Life. It just dropped on Criterion in March.
Oh,
and I need to pick it up. I don't have it yet.
Yes, you do.
But it has, I think, a couple interviews. I think there's a new interview with Albert Brooks, and so I think I might order that for the Criterion sale.
Get on that Barnes and Noble, right?
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, that's one that has for me. My dad recommended it to me, which for the most part, like his recommendations are good, but I just have the instinct of like, oh, I'm not going to watch that. My dad says it's good, but now it's like,
it sounds corny. Like when you read the synopsis and you're like, it's a love story. It's rated PG. It's from 1991. And you're like, no, I'm good. But
like,
it really just look past all of that and just give it a watch. It's really great. I really love it.
Sounds great.
Once I saw Criterion was putting it out, I was like, all right, those guys kind of know what they're talking about. I can probably trust them. So that's awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much for answering those questions. I love all those answers. This is, I think, synonymous between the three of us. Like a favorite thing about the pod is meeting new people and hearing those answers. So thank you so much.